Hello everyone. The topic that which we are going to discuss today is identification of the lines of regression. Okay, so there are certain prerequisites for this particular topic. So let us understand what is a line. Line has an equation of ax plus by is equal to c. This is the equation of a line where a is the coefficient of x and b is the coefficient of y. So in this topic, these lines will be given to you. They will not mention you which line is line x on y and which line is line y on x. That you need to identify using a certain process which we are going to understand. Okay. The important thing over here to understand is how to calculate the slope of this line. So the slope is calculated as minus a by b. This is the formula for slope of the line. Okay. So if the line is 2x plus 3y is equal to 7, the slope of the line will be, we'll put minus a by b, so minus bracket upon bracket. A is the coefficient of x, that is 2, and b is the coefficient of y, okay, that is plus 3, or you can also write 3. So the slope of this line is minus 2 by 3, right? Let's take some other line and find out the slope. 5x minus 7y is equal to 2. 5x minus 7y is equal to 2. So slope of this line will be minus bracket upon bracket. So we'll write 5 over here and we'll write minus 7 over here. Okay. So the slope of this line will be 5 upon 7. Okay. Coefficient of x is 5 and the coefficient of y is minus 7. Okay. X and y. Fine. This minus sign outside is the minus sign from the formula. Okay. It has nothing to do with the coefficients of x and y. Okay. Sometimes some lines are rearranged and given to you. The equation is rearranged and given to you. Okay. So minus y is equal to x minus 6, something like that. So we need to arrange this in a very precise manner. So shift this x on the other side, minus x minus y is equal to minus 6. So we can calculate the slope as minus bracket upon bracket. So a is the coefficient of x, a is minus 1, minus indicates minus 1, and b is also minus 1. Okay, the slope of this line is 1. Fine. So always get the line in the format of first x, then y, then constant. Right? Now we are going to solve few problems in which we have to identify the lines of regression. Okay. So let us go to exercise 3.3. Let us go to exercise 3.3, question number 2 from page number 49, your government textbook. Exercise 3.3. Exercise 3.3, page number 49, question number 2 of your government textbook. Now there are two lines given to you. See, if you look at the question, the regression equations, there are two lines given to you. 8x minus 10y. I'll write equal to minus 66 because as I said you, x, y, and then constant. So 8x minus 10y minus 66 equal to minus 66. And the second equation is 40x minus 18y is equal to 214. Okay. If the first part of the problem specifies that, you know, find the mean values of x and y, so we'll get the mean values of x and y. Mean are nothing but the averages, that is x bar and y bar. So when two lines are given to you, two regression lines are given to you, we can just find out the mean values by calculating, by solving the two lines simultaneously. So what I'll do, I'll multiply the first line by 5. Okay. So 40x minus 50y is equal to 66 into 5. 66 into 5, if I'm not wrong, it is 330. So this will be minus 330. So after multiplication with 5, I got this particular equation. 40x minus 50y is equal to minus 330. The second equation remains as it is. So we'll write down the second equation in the same manner. 40x minus 18y is equal to 214. Now the coefficient of x is 40 in both the cases. So we'll subtract both the equations. So just subtract both the equations. Okay, this also becomes negative. 40x minus 40x is gone. Minus 50, it will be minus 50 plus 18. Okay, minus 50 plus 18, that is equal to minus 32y, is equal to minus 330 minus 214, that is minus 544. Minus 544. So what you do is divide minus 544 by 32. Okay, you can just divide minus 544 by minus 32. So y is equal to minus 544 by minus 32. If you go on reducing and dividing this, you'll get 17. Okay, so we got the value of y. We'll put the value of y in any one of the equations. Putting the value of y in any one of the equations. So we'll use the first equation. 8x minus 10y is equal to minus 66. 8x minus 10y is equal to minus 66. We'll put the value of y over here as 17. So this is minus 66. 8x minus 170 is equal to minus 66. 8x is equal to 170 minus 66. This minus 170 went on the other side and it became plus 170. So this is 8x is equal to 170 minus 66, which is equal to 104. So if you solve this, you'll get the value of x as 104 divided by 8, that is equal to 13. So we simultaneously solved both the equations and we got the values of x and y. Now these values of x and y, itself are x bar and y bar. We got x as 13, it itself is x bar, which is 13. We got y as 17, so hence we can say y bar is equal to 17. So the first part of the problem is over. They were asking us the means, so we have calculated the respective means of x and y. So whenever two equations are given to you, two regression equations are given to you, and if they are asking you to calculate the mean values, solve both the equations simultaneously, and after solving both the equations simultaneously, whatever answer you get, that answer is x and y, which itself is x bar and y bar. Okay, I hope you all understood this. Fine. Next part of the question, they are asking correlation coefficient between x and y. Correlation coefficient between x and y. So that is denoted by small r. Small r is nothing but the correlation coefficient between x and y. The formula for small r is equal to root of byx into bxy. The formula for small r is equal to root of byx into bxy. So what you need to do is you need to find out byx and bxy, and then you can just calculate the value of r. And always remember, small r always lies between minus 1 and 1. Correlation coefficient always lies between minus 1 and 1. Okay, so we have a very standard and fixed procedure for this, which we have to understand right now. Okay, so we'll start with that procedure. Okay, there are two lines given to you, two regression equations, as in two lines are given to you. So we'll write line 1. That is 8x minus 10y plus 66, that is equal to minus 66. Okay, and we are also having line 2. Line 2 is equal to 40x. Let me just check. 40x minus 18y is equal to 214. Okay, line 1 and line 2. The first and foremost thing that we are supposed to do is calculate the slopes of both the lines. We'll calculate the slopes of both the lines. Okay, we'll calculate slopes of both the lines. So slope is equal to minus a by b. Slope is equal to minus a by b. A is the coefficient of x. This we did right at the start of the lecture. And B is the coefficient of y. This is -10. Okay. So this is equal to 8 upon 10. And on the other side, coefficient of x is 40. So I'm writing 40 over here. And coefficient of y is -18. So this is -18 over here. So this is 40 by 18. Okay. So both the slopes are calculated. I'll name the slopes. M1 is equal to 8 upon 10. M2 is equal to 40 upon 18. Now, once we calculate both the slopes, also calculate the modulus of both the slopes. So we'll calculate the modulus of both the slopes. M1, 8 upon 10, modulus of 8 upon 10. Now, positive modulus is always positive. So whenever you calculate the modulus, first of all, remove the negative sign. Positive remains positive. And in this problems, in this category of problems, whenever you calculate the modulus of M1 and M2, make it in decimal. Calculate in decimal values as in decimal values. So modulus of M2 is equal to modulus of 40 by 18, which is equal to 20 by 9, which is equal to 2.22. Okay, so remember one thing. Okay, M1, M2, keep it in fraction. Fine. And modulus of M1, modulus of M2, calculate in decimal. Calculate in decimal. Fine. Now we are going to compare the modulus of both. We are going to compare the modulus of both. Modulus of M1, modulus of M2. Okay, modulus of M1, modulus of M2. Which one is greater? 2.22 is greater than 0.8. So I'm putting a lesser than sign over here because modulus of M2 is greater than modulus of M1. This value is greater, modulus of M2. Okay, fine. I'm writing this on the next page as well. Modulus of M1 lesser than modulus of M2 because M2 is greater. Now we have to write a coefficient of regression of y on x, that is byx. So you have to remember this thing. Byx is equal to smaller slope without modulus. Smaller slope without modulus. Okay. Now which is the smaller slope? Smaller slope is modulus of m1. Okay, but then don't put a modulus sign now. Don't put the modulus sign. Hence I've written without modulus. Right? So modulus of m1 without modulus. So that is 8 by 10. Without modulus is 8 by 10. Okay. So m1 comes from line 1. M1 comes from line 1. So line 1 is line y on x. The first line is line y on x. They had not mentioned in the problem, but then I have written it because we calculated the coefficient, regression coefficient byx. Na? So line 1, M1 comes from line 1 becomes y on x. Right? Now bxy. Bxy, you just have to take the reciprocal of the other slope. Now M1 task is done. The other slope is M2. So just take the reciprocal of the other slope, 1 upon M2, right? Now M2, if I show you, it is 40 by 18. So M2 will be 1 upon 40 by 18, right? So M2 BXY will be 18 upon 40. 18 upon 40, which is equal to 9 upon 20, which we have reduced. Otherwise, you can, if you don't want to reduce, you just leave it as it is, right? So we got the value of bxy. So how to calculate bxy? It is reciprocal of the other slope. Okay, right? Because m2 is already utilized over here. So bxy will be what? A reciprocal of m2. M1 is already utilized. So reciprocal of the other slope is bxy, right? So m2, m2 comes from line 2. M2 comes from line 2. So line 2 becomes x on y. line 2 becomes x on y, right? So we have identified which line is y on x and which line is x on y. Line 1 is y on x and line 2 is x on y, right? Now let us see, go to equation number 1 which I had written for you. So from 1 you can just write over here itself, from 1, okay, r is equal to root of byx into bxy. Byx and bxy, put the respective values. Byx is equal to 8 by 10 and bxy is equal to 18 by 40. So this is 8 by 10 into 18 by 40, right? So we can just reduce certain terms over here. So this is 2 into 9 and this is 2 into 20, right? So this is 72 by 200. If we multiply 8 into 9, 72, 10 into 20, that is 200. Reduce it further, 36 upon 100. And 36 upon 100 both are perfect squares. So r is equal to 6 upon 10. Therefore, r is equal to positive 0.6. I'll write r as positive 0.6. R is positive. R is positive since what? Since byx and bxy are positive. See, if byx and bxy are positive, r has to be positive. And if byx and bxy are negative, r has to be negative, right? Okay. So we calculated r. Now in the same problem, in the very same problem, what they have given? They have given the variance of x as 9. Now whenever variance is given to us, we always calculate the standard deviation. Standard deviation of x is equal to root of variance of x, root of 9, which is equal to 3. So from variance, I have calculated the standard deviation. Variance of x is equal to 9 was given to us in the problem. They are asking standard deviation of y. They are asking standard deviation of y. Okay. What we will do is, we'll take any one regression coefficient. We'll take any one regression coefficient. Okay. Let's take bxy and write down the formula in terms of r. Write down the formula in terms of r. R sigma x upon sigma y. R sigma x upon sigma y. Okay. So we'll make use of this formula, right? Okay. So I'll take another page. Bxy is equal to r sigma x upon sigma y. Now bxy we have already calculated. Bxy is equal to 18 upon 40, right? So I'm writing 18 upon 40 over here. R also we have calculated. What is R? R is 6 upon 10 or 0.6. So let's take 6 upon 10 with a positive sign. Okay. Sigma x also we just calculated, which is 3. Okay. And the only thing that we don't know is sigma y. Fine. So see, 18 upon 40, 18 upon 10 sigma y. So 18 and 18 is getting cancelled on both the sides. We are left with 1 and 1. Fine. Then cross multiply. 10 sigma y is equal to 40. Therefore, sigma y is equal to 40 upon 10, that is equal to 4. Okay. So that completes the entire problem. Fine. Okay, we'll take up one more problem of the similar category so that we are well versed with the topic. Okay, go to miscellaneous exercise of the chapter regression. Okay, in that page number 54 has solve the following. In solve the following, go to question number 11. In solve the following, go to question number 11. Fine. So there are two lines given to you. The first line is 10x minus 4y is equal to 80. The format is good. It's not having any issue. Okay. But then the second line they have mentioned y first. So we'll write in a proper format. We'll rearrange it. Minus 9x plus 10y. Minus 9x plus 10y is equal to minus 40. So these are the two lines given to you. Fine. Now, in the first sub question, they are asking you x bar and y bar, x bar and y bar. So x bar and y bar part I will not calculate, but then we'll just discuss it. The two lines are given to you. You have to solve both the lines simultaneously. After solving both the lines simultaneously, we'll get the values of x and y. The values of x and y are itself x bar and y bar. So that is the first part of your problem. Okay. In the second part of the problem, they are asking you to calculate byx and bxy. So second and fourth part are related because in the fourth part they are asking you correlation coefficient, that is r, right? So byx and bxy they are asking. Have they mentioned to you very clearly that which line is y on x and which line is x on y? Just check the problem. No, they have not mentioned which line is x on y and which line is y on x. So we'll have to apply the same procedure which we have learned some time back. So line 1, okay, that is line 1 is 10x minus 4y is equal to 80, and line 2 is minus 9x plus 10y is equal to minus 40. Okay, so we have written the equation of both the lines. Recollect the procedure. We'll calculate slope. Both the slopes will calculate. Minus a by b is the formula. Okay, a is the coefficient of x, that is 10, and b is the coefficient of y, that is minus 4. Okay, so this is equal to 10 upon 4. And here on the other side, a is minus 9 and b is the coefficient of y, which is plus 10. We can write 10. So this is equal to 9 upon 10. m1 is equal to 10 upon 4. m2 is equal to 9 upon 10. Now recollect what I had asked you. Okay, so I had asked you to calculate the modulus part of it. So modulus of 10 by 4, which is equal to 2.5, and modulus of m2, which is equal to 9 by 10 modulus, which is equal to 0.9. And just a quick recap, m1 and m2 are never to be calculated in decimals for this calculation. Okay, in this type of problems, fine. But then modulus of m1, modulus of m2 will calculate in decimals because you have to compare those values, right? So m1, m2. Now this time, if you take a look, 2.5 is greater, so this m1 value is greater, right? So modulus of m1 is greater than modulus of m2. Compare the modulus, always compare the modulus, right? So I'll write modulus of m1 is greater than modulus of m2. Byx is equal to smaller slope without modulus. So the smaller slope is m2. Smaller slope is m2. Okay, smaller slope is m2. Fine. So write m2 over here. Don't put the modulus sign. Okay, so let's go back to the previous slide. It is 9 upon 10. m2 is equal to 9 upon 10. Fine. m2 is equal to 9 upon 10. Now m2 comes from line 2. m2 obviously it comes from line 2. So line 2 is nothing but line y on x, sorry, line y on x, because we have written regression coefficient as byx. Okay, so byx they had asked. Since they are asking, and if it is easy to calculate, then only put a decimal over here for byx. Otherwise, don't put a decimal. Okay, they have asked explicitly that calculate the value of byx. So 9 upon 10, we'll just solve it if it is very easy to calculate. Otherwise, don't solve it. Just keep it in fraction. Fine. Bxy is the reciprocal of the other slope. M2 task is already over. So what is the other slope? Other slope is M1. So 1 upon M1. Let's go back to the previous slide. M1 is equal to 10 upon 4. So 1 upon M1. 1 upon M1 will be 4 upon 10. What I've done the reciprocal part of M1. Okay, now M1 comes from line 1. So line 1 is line x on y. Line 1 is line x on y. Fine. So what we'll do is, we got the value of byx, we got the value of bxy. Again, bxy is asked in the problem, so I'll just divide this because it's easy. 0.4. Fine. Now they are also asking us to calculate r, that is the fourth part of the problem. This was the third part of the problem. Let's go to the fourth part of the problem. In the fourth part, they are asking us to calculate r. So r is equal to byx into bxy. Okay, byx is equal to 9 by 10, bxy is equal to 4 by 10, which is 36 by 100, 6 by 10. So r is equal to positive 0.6. R is positive. Why r is positive? R is positive since byx, bxy are positive. R is positive since byx and bxy are positive. Now see, in the last part, in the third part of the problem, they are asking us to calculate variance of x. Variance of x is needed. Variance of y given as 36. Therefore, standard deviation of y is equal to root of variance of y, root of 36, which is equal to 6. Right? Now take any one regression coefficient. Let's take byx this time. Earlier we had taken bxy. So take any one regression equation, a regression coefficient. So byx is equal to r sigma y upon sigma x. Byx is equal to r sigma y upon sigma x. What is byx? Byx we have already calculated, right? Byx is equal to 0.9, but then we'll take 9 upon 10 for the calculation purpose. 9 upon 10 is equal to 6 upon 10. See, we also calculated r some time back. R is equal to 0.6. So I'm taking 6 upon 10, and then sigma y. What is sigma y? Sigma y is equal to 6. Sigma y is equal to 6, and sigma x that we don't know, right? So this 10 and 10 will get cancelled on both the sides. So sigma x is equal to 9 into sigma x is equal to 36. This I cross multiplied over here, and 6 into 6 I have written as 36, right? Okay. What I've done, I've cross multiplied 9 with sigma x, and 6 into 6 I have written 36. Now again, sigma x is equal to 36 by 9, which is 4. Sigma x, root of variance of x. Therefore, 4 is equal to root of variance of x. To eliminate the root sign, we'll have to square both the sides. So by squaring, v of x is equal to 4 square, which is equal to 16. That is your final answer. So in this lecture, what you have learned basically is how to calculate the means x bar and y bar by simultaneously solving the two equations, and also identification of the lines of regression and identification of the coefficients as well. Because in the problem, they won't give you which line is x on y and which line is y on x. In such problems, you have to follow this procedure in the two problems which we have just solved. Thank you.